Lexington police have an alert for people around the UK campus tonight. They say a string of sexual assaults could all be connected.
It strikes to the very, the deepest parts of who you are.
A Central Kentucky pastor has a warning tonight about a frightening phone scam he says targeted him.
And a well-known Lexington restaurant owner talking to us about the problems she's had getting her latest project up and running, but she's not giving up.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. Tonight, Lexington police have a warning for women walking alone in neighborhoods around the UK campus. They say a sexual assault suspect could be targeting them.
Police released this sketch of the suspect today. They think he could be connected to a string of sexual assaults near campus over the last few years. Monique Blair is live with our top story at 6. Monique?
Well, Sam and Amber, Lexington police tell me about 3 weeks ago, a woman was walking alone here near the intersection of Arlington Avenue and Grosvenor Avenue around 12:30 in the morning when she was sexually assaulted by a man police think could be connected to several past unsolved sexual assaults. So police are asking for your help finding a man who may resemble this sketch. Police believe this man could possibly be connected to past sexual assaults because of the similarities. A woman is walking alone between the hours of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. in a neighborhood that surrounds the University of Kentucky campus, and then she is sexually assaulted. Police believe the suspect does not know his victims. The details surrounding the past incidences are vague because police say they don't want to compromise their investigation. And at this point, the most important detail is figuring out who is responsible.
But right now, our primary focus is keeping the community safe. Part of that is identifying this suspect because the type of person who will attack someone randomly on the street is we believe, an increased threat to the public.
Now, a spokesperson for the University of Kentucky says the school has not issued an alert to students because, for one, there is not an immediate threat to the campus, and also because none of these incidences actually happened on campus. I'm reporting live in Lexington. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Police say in the recent assault, 2 men helped chase off the suspect. Police say they want those men to come forward because they believe those men could help with the investigation. New tonight, Lexington police have arrested a 3rd person in connection to a deadly shooting. This afternoon, police charged 28-year-old Alonzo Ragland with murder and robbery. Police say the victim, 24-year-old Victor Villagomez Duarte, was shot on Labor Day near the Microtel Hotel on Buena Vista Drive. He died a few days later. Police have also charged Daniel Glasscock and Destiny Huff with murder and robbery. Investigators think the victim was set up during a drug deal.
Tonight, a Jessamine County pastor is talking to us about a frightening call he recently received. He says someone claimed his daughter had been kidnapped and even put a crying child on the phone. But he says he eventually realized it was just a scam, and he wants to warn you about it. Victor Puente has our story.
It was a call that could have been costly. A Jessamine County father tells me ransom demands for his daughter ended up being a scam. Nicholasville police are now trying to warn parents.
They wanted him to wire them money, which in itself should have been suspicious right off the bat.
About a call that came last Wednesday to Sean Mitchell. It had him terrified for a few moments. He said when he answered, he could hear a child asking for help.
A male voice came on the phone and said, "I've got your daughter," and he said her name, "and you're going to do what I say. You're going to give me money. Don't call the police, don't call the FBI, or I'll put a bullet in her head."
He asked for more information, but they couldn't provide it.
So when I figured that he didn't have my child, I said, "I don't think you have my daughter." And then I began praying for him.
They eventually hung up. Mitchell is a pastor at the Nicholasville United Methodist Church, and a few days ago he put a post on Facebook describing the experience. It's been viewed more than 35,000 times.
I had to wait a few days. I wanted to do it immediately, but I couldn't tell the story without crying. And so when I could tell the story without choking up, then I decided to go ahead and do the video.
Nicholasville police tell me there isn't much they can do as far as investigating the crime because the call was made internationally. They said the best thing they can do is alert people that this is a scam. In Jessamine County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Nicholasville police say they believe the scammers got the pastor's information from social media.
New tonight, a Woodford County judge says the case against a man accused of killing a child is taking longer than it should. The judge showed that concern during a hearing for Ronald Exantis today. It focused on motions related to a competency hearing that's scheduled for later this month. Attorneys for Exantis are worried they won't have enough time to prepare for that hearing, but the judge wants to move the case along. Last December, police say Exantis broke into a home in Versailles and stabbed 6-year-old Logan Tipton to death. His attorney claims Exantis had a psychotic break after being arrested. We have an update tonight on the case against a Bath County man accused of killing his wife. According to the Bath County News Outlook, Christopher White waived his preliminary hearing today, and the judge sent the case on to a grand jury. Police say White shot his wife Judy at a home near Owensville last month. Police arrested him a week later in Indiana. He's now charged with murder.
You've probably heard about police warning people about thefts from unlocked cars around central Kentucky the last few months. But tonight, investigators worry that some thieves could be using a special device to get inside locked cars. Lexington police say that 4 cars were broken into this morning in the Greendale neighborhood that's near Masterson Station. And the thieves also stole a couple of cars. Sabir Rayford is tracking the investigation tonight.
It was supposed to be like any other day.
I hadn't had coffee yet. It was terrible.
Jared Vanderveer says he was following his usual morning routine, getting ready for his workday. But when he walked outside, his day turned upside down.
I came out about 7 a.m. or so, and my car was missing.
So he called police to see if it had been towed, but they informed Vanderveer that he wasn't the only person in the neighborhood missing a car.
He was already in the neighborhood because there was several other cars that had gotten either stolen or broken into.
And police say they didn't stop at the break-ins. They came to this street about 4 minutes away, and neighbors say they heard gunshots.
It was about 6 o'clock this morning. I saw a flash of light, and then maybe a minute later, big bang. It sounded like a gunshot.
Now, neighbors are on edge. This rash of car break-ins and gunshots comes just days after a family was robbed at gunpoint.
It's a little scary. We just bought this house in April, and it seemed like a nice, quiet neighborhood, and come to find that it might not be that.
Vanderveer says he just wants his neighbors to keep an eye out on their surroundings.
If you see something, that you know, strange car or something, people going through other people's cars aren't supposed to be there, just call the cops, let somebody know.
Police say the thieves might be using a special device that can unlock OnStar cars without sounding the alarm. In Lexington, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
Now, police say the thieves took money from the cars that were not stolen. They advise never leaving a garage opener in your car. New tonight, a Lexington police chase in Lexington ended in a pond. Police say this afternoon an officer saw a car believed to have been stolen, tried to stop the driver on Center Parkway, but police say the driver jumped out of the car and began running. They say eventually he jumped into the pond at Gainesway to try to get away, but police say they arrested him once he swam out of the pond. Police think that the man could be connected to the robbery at Hibbert Sports in the Miss Lake Plaza yesterday. They say his car matched the description of the car the robbery suspects were seen in last night.
New tonight, investigators think a bull killed a man in Boone County. It happened this morning at a farm off of US 42 in Verona. The Boone County Sheriff's Office says the man was working on his family farm when a bull gored him, causing his death. Deputies say the man's body wasn't found until this afternoon. His name has not yet been released. Police have charged a man they say made threats against Lexington City employees. Investigators say Marshawn Cowan was fired as a Lexington waste management worker last week. They say he later sent text messages to a friend outlining plans to hurt some employees at the government center. Police were later told about the messages. They arrested Cowan and charged him with terroristic threatening. He bonded out of jail last night and pled not guilty this afternoon. Lexington police provided extra security at the Division of Waste Management today as a precaution.
It has been another day of sunshine across the bluegrass, but some of us could see some rain, maybe even a storm tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey standing by. He has an early look at your forecast. How about it, Chris?
Yeah, those storms that are out there to our north right now, Sam, are on the puny side, just ahead of a cold front that is slowly, and I mean slowly, dropping in from north to south across the Ohio River right now. Most of the bluegrass stayed high and dry again this afternoon, but we do have these teeny tiny little thunderstorms into far northern Kentucky, southern parts of Indiana, southern Illinois. Just not a whole lot of juice out there for the atmosphere to crank out some storms into the Covington, Cincinnati area. Again, this is what we're talking about with the puny side of those storms. Back into Louisville as well, knocking the temperatures down a few degrees. A little better coverage on those showers and storms in the southern parts of Indiana. We broaden out the view. Here is our cold front. It has cooler air to the north. It's downright chilly in the parts of the Great Lakes. Warm air across the Bluegrass State points south. The cool air is never actually, at least this go around, going to get in to central and eastern Kentucky. How about the rest of your evening? Here's the future radar hour by hour breakdown, and notice how as we lose the heating of the day shortly after sunset, whatever's out there in the southern parts of Indiana beginning to die away. Here's what we'll focus on when I come back in a little under 10 minutes. Another cold front that is on the way for the weekend will bring a much better chance for showers and thunderstorms, and I'll show you how the Gulf of Mexico may be our friend for those folks needing some rain, even if it is on the weekend. Guys, see you in a bit.
Chris, thank you. Chef Lucy Myers is a well-known name on the Lexington restaurant scene, and she's at it again with a new restaurant in the works.
But some major setbacks have been keeping her from making her latest dream a reality. Andrea Walker caught up with Lucy for an update. It's a story that's new at 6.
Since closing her iconic Lexington hotspot a la Lucy's, Chef Lucy Myers has missed everything about the restaurant industry, which is why she can't wait to open her newest and what she says will be her last restaurant, Lucy's Red Light on Limestone and Loudon.
I'm behind on the gossip. I don't know what's happening, and I'm looking forward to seeing the people. And I want to cook good food, obviously, you know.
There have been a few roadblocks along the way. She's had contractor trouble, which led to numerous delays, not to mention being diagnosed with lung cancer.
It used to be a death sentence, but it's not anymore. I'm going to beat it.
It's that indomitable personality that's kept her going all these years and created the aura that is Chef Lucy, with a style all her own.
They always say I'm a little eclectic, and I guess that's it. Some people do drugs. I like to collect stuff.
Over the years, she's collected a lot of stuff, as she calls it, which now has a new home in her restaurant. And while she's been in the game for years, Lucy says cancer has given her a new perspective on life and a renewed passion for what she does.
I'm just glad to be here, and I'm glad and I'm going to finish this, and there you go.
In Lexington, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
And we can't wait for her to get up and running. There is still no firm open date for Lucy's Red Light, but Lucy tells us she is hoping to have things up and running by late fall.
Wish her well. A big announcement today from UK Healthcare why there will be a change in leadership in the coming year.
And then why a longtime bar in Lexington's Chevy Chase neighborhood is now being torn down. New tonight, a leader of University of Kentucky Healthcare has announced he'll be retiring.
UK Executive Vice President for Health Affairs Dr. Michael Karp says he'll retire next year after the hiring and transition period for his replacement. Dr. Karp has held that position for 13 years. UK says in that time the university has invested nearly $2 billion for faculty recruitment, program development, technology acquisition, and facilities.
New tonight, a longtime Lexington nightclub is now being torn down. Demolition is underway on what most recently was Art Bar on Euclid Avenue in Chevy Chase. For years, though, it was called the Blue Moon Saloon. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, the owner of the property plans to open a new restaurant called Bear and the Butcher.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
A lot of sunshine again across the Bluegrass State today. Cold front is just off to our north, and it is slowly on the move into the Bluegrass State. Let's fire up 9 live sky cams across central and eastern Kentucky. Not a whole lot to really show you. As you can see here, plenty of sunshine. Then you get to Florence. You got more clouds, northern Kentucky, and that's an area that is actually seeing at least some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Look what it's doing to the temperature, too. 78 into Covington, upper 80s for the rest of Central and Eastern Kentucky. I'd like to see a little fall in here. I'm sure a lot of you would too. Some are putting in some extra work so far this September. Defender radar network dry across most areas until we get into the northern parts of the area and back to the west around Louisville. Showers and thunderstorms here, trying their very best to scoot toward the south and southeast. Not having a whole lot of luck. We've got dry air in place across the Bluegrass State. That increase in moisture is just to our north. The cool air into the Great Lakes never will really get into Central and Eastern Kentucky. So why is that front so slow and so stubborn to get in here? Well, look what fired up late last night out ahead of that. A tropical system that actually developed over land in Florida last night. First time that's happened since 1988. And it is still going just off the coast of South Carolina. So that's throwing up a big stop sign to that cold front trying to scoot into Kentucky. Just kind of backs the pattern up a little bit. So tomorrow, instead of that front sliding through here, you know what it's going to do? It's never really going to clear the area, never going to cool us down with the pleasant air to our north. So instead, it's another day of 80 to 85 degree temperatures, mainly dry across the region again. Can we get a storm or two in here tomorrow? Probably not. Better chance, though, later Friday and certainly as we go into Saturday. I know it's a weekend. We've got fall festivals. We've got football. But the chances for some rain will be on the increase as we go from Friday evening and into the day on Saturday. Here's a brand new hour-by-hour forecast. Let's break it down. 7 o'clock this evening, low 80s. We go toward 11, upper 60s to around 70, and then clear skies overnight. Watch out, fog first thing tomorrow morning can be locally dense, especially near those waterways. And for parts of the region, see how it's showing some clouds here? That's actually the fog trying to lift, so it may be slow in doing so, keeping temperatures down just a bit in the north. So we may go from 80 in the north to the upper 80s across the south. Never a dull moment temperature-wise across Kentucky, always on the border. Into Friday morning, pretty good shape to start out the day. Fast forward through your lunchtime hour, 5 o'clock, heading into the weekend. Thunderstorms are trying to get close, and by 11 o'clock, at least this run of the model says we'll get a storm or two into town that may impact a high school football game. Then Saturday rolls around. See all the green? That would be the increase in showers and thunderstorms with that system that slowly moves in here, taps some moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. So Saturday and Sunday, those rain chances go up. I'm not telling you it's going to rain all the time or that your weekend is just a lost cause. Not at all. I wouldn't do that to you. 81 for a high temperature on Monday with a scattered thunderstorm left over. Middle of next week, middle 80s should be back in the bluegrass.
You're saying have a poncho for the game. I hear you.
am saying have a poncho for the game. That's right. And a plan B if you have something else to do outside.
Gotcha. Chris,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Well, Brian, a lot of fans are eagerly awaiting the UK basketball season.
Yeah, and when the Cats take the floor, John Calipari's team will have some new unis. The UK offense, well, they have completed 5 passes in the last 6 quarters. So the playbook will be a lot thinner this week. Sports is on the way. Big Blue Madness is a mere 30 days away, and when the season rolls around, the basketball Wildcats will be wearing some new uniforms. This is a picture posted from the UK Equipment Twitter account this morning. The most notable change you'll notice is that blue checkerboard pattern, which has been added to the jersey as well. The checkerboard pattern on the sides of the shorts has been extended to the entire length of the shorts. The UK logo previously appeared above the checkerboard on both sides of the shorts has now been moved to the front left leg, and this is not a fashion show, even though I sounded like that. It's been a miserable past 6 quarters for the Wildcats on the gridiron. UK has been outscored 79-7 since halftime with the Southern Miss game, and against Florida, Drew Barker and Steven Johnson completed as many passes to the Florida Gators as they did the Wildcats. Eddie Gran is the head coach of the offense, and he says he is simplifying things. Gran says he has spent the past 3 nights watching film and is planning on scaling back that playbook.
That'll depend on what we see at practice. You know, if we're out there and we just ran, 29 plays in team right there, and we weren't very detailed on 10 of them, then I'm going to cut those 10 and move on to the next. If we have 19 plays that are good, then we'll play those 19 plays.
We just kind of had like a lot of motions and kind of deceptive things that we wanted to do in every play, and kind of going on 2 and stuff like that, and decided just going out there and playing our game, like we have been. So I think he's just kind of referencing stuff like that.
This will be the first ever meeting between the Wildcats and New Mexico State. The Aggies are coached by Doug Martin, who played at Kentucky in the early 1980s. Martin, who previously coached against the Cats when he was at Kent State, says he owes his football coaching career to his coach, Jerry Claiborne.
He was a program builder. He took over 3 different college football programs, Maryland, Virginia Tech, and Kentucky. Took all 3 of them over when they were down and rebuilt all of them into bowl teams. And that was the guy that I played for. I coached for him. He made me a student coach, made me a graduate coach, and got me my first job in coaching. And so when I go back to Kentucky and I think about that, he's the guy, that I really think about mostly.
Oh, Jerry Claiborne and that wide tackle 6. Kentucky and New Mexico State this Saturday at 4. You can see it on the SEC Network alternate channel here in town in Lexington. That's channel 518 on your Time Warner cable. And check this out. At the Keeneland September yearling sales today, hip number 454, a bay colt by Scat Daddy and Out of Leslie's Lady, the sales topper so far. Coolmore paying $3 million for the half-brother to Beholder. It's also the highest paid price for a thoroughbred at public auction in the world this year. The highest paid price for a yearling at the September sale since 2010. That is some serious cash. Sam and Amber, let's go back to you.
All right, I think I'll be writing a check for that.
But that's a beautiful horse.
Gorgeous. Final check of your First Alert forecast with Chris is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, Colin Powell is the latest victim of an email hack, and he has harsh words for both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Nice night out there. Hot one again.
It is. I know. Come on, summer. Raise the white flag. Surrender. 85 tomorrow, mainly dry. 87 again Friday. A late day shower, a thunderstorm. Better storm chances as we roll our way into Saturday and Sunday.
For a moment there, I thought you were going to model the UK basketball uniform.
Well,
we were really hoping.
Down, man.
Well, if you notice, the checkerboard goes from the, I mean, that's pretty in depth. But they look a little bit like the football jerseys.
Yeah.
If you look
the
at
shoulders.
them. So hopefully we'll see what other jerseys we have this year.
It is Fashion Week. I thought you had been watching some of that to know exactly.